Hello everyone, and welcome to my British Royal Family official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sovereign Harry seemed defeat with feeling and weepy at certain focuses during his Invictus Games discourse on Saturday night. A non-verbal communication master guaranteed ruler Harry areas of strength for showed and seemed overpowered on occasion during his discourse at the end function of the Invictus Games on Saturday night, while Meghan Markle watched, radiating from the stands. The Invictus Games, held for this present year in Düsseldorf, Germany, closed on the previous evening. Sovereign Harry, 39, and his better half Meghan Markle, 42, were available among the participants following the extended game. The Duke conveyed a discourse in front of an audience at the Merkur routine field during the service, and apparently he conveyed areas of strength for a presence. Judy James, non-verbal communication master, told the Mirror. It was exceptionally recounting Harry's inward feelings during this end function that he seemed to have composed a fairly addressing, hard-hitting discourse to his crowd, which he attempted to convey with the pacing, clench-hand-waggling, blame-shifting style of a tactical pioneer. However, as his emotions spilled out and sometimes took control, his body language told a different story. At a certain point he seemed sad when he quit talking and cleaned his mouth with his hand. She proceeded. These feelings were noticeable from the outset when some constant lip-licking and lip-bracing seemed to be a certain indication of tension or nerves. His pointing and pacing seemed to be a demonstration of solidarity. However, at that point, there was an embracing of the mic with two hands and some ear-scratching that seemed to be self-solace or self-interruption customs. One of his only smiles came after he spoke a few phrases in German, and his body language veered between humility and leadership. There were no jokes, banter, showboating, or love story-style references to his wife or his family, in contrast to his usual style. The non-verbal communication master proceeded to say that Harry's appearance in front of an audience showed up unconstrained and relaxed. Judy said, "He nearly snuck on while a Ukrainian contender was being consulted," amazing the moderator, who was probably hoping to give him a gigantic development. She likewise talked about Harry showing up close by Meghan during the end function, saying, "It was a totally different exhibition from Harry and Meghan as a team this evening, with Harry's short appearance in front of an audience yet no discourse or stage appearance from Meghan. He was by all accounts extending an all the more relaxed profile with signals and postures of lowliness, in any event, sitting with his hands between his legs and his head bowed as he was called out from the stage." The non-verbal communication master added, "His feelings looked solid, however Meghan took a posture of strong help and energy close to him in the crowd, applauding, moving, embracing, and high applauding through the whole function. Her look said everything as she watched his close-to-home discourse in front of an audience, applauding and grinning up at him, and obviously egging him on gladly." The Duke of Sussex tended to veterans and their families in his profound discourse at the Invictus Games shutting service on Saturday night. Ruler Harry gave an engaging 5-minute discourse at the end service of the Invictus Games on Saturday, September 16, when he reminded his crowd not to judge individuals on their past agony. He said it was essential to consider those we experience as who they are presently, as opposed to anything they might have done before. This is a particularly relevant message coming from the Duke, who has abandoned his regal life in the UK to begin another existence of freedom in California with his better half Meghan Markle and their youngsters. His discourse honored the veterans and contenders, as he said, "Your central goal to mend and develop has been a brilliant illustration to every one of us. You've shown us the power in not characterizing individuals by supposition, their history or past agony, yet rather on their capacity, how they appear, and who they are in the present. I'm sure that you're all physically worn out, yet I want to believe that you are intellectually more grounded than when you showed up. At any point we might have given the stage, however you gave the sorcery, and don't you fail to remember that. Tomorrow you will each leave with recollections that are unique and interesting to you. Yet, My expectation is that each memory made carries a grin to your face through a feeling of having a place, and a chance for yourself as well as your family to look forward, proudly and with reason. In his journal, Spare Harry depicted hearing the first bleaty notes of bagpipes the day preceding he was educated that his mom, Princess Diana, had been killed in a fender bender. He then told the group at the Mercasong and Dance Field about gathering Canadian contender expert Corporal James Gendron prior in the week. The ruler made sense of. While we were talking, I saw bagpipes lying on the floor in the furthest corner. Some of you might understand what bagpipes mean to me, so I really wanted to trust they be played. Much to my dismay that 30 minutes after the fact, it would be James getting them and proposing to play, yet I had no clue about how they affected him, nor did I have at least some idea what recollections they set off for him. Significant Corporal Gendron told Harry how he had played the bagpipes during his time serving in Afghanistan at 63 Sloke functions, the dedication administration held for a fallen warrior at the air terminal before the body is flown home. After that, Harry revealed, for a considerable length of time after that last service, he was unable to contact them. This week he wasn't certain about whether he could force himself to play them. In any case, he did. Dare I say it, what once haunted him may now aid in his healing. Ruler William will show up next to a Hollywood superstar at an occasion near his heart, and is declining to be teased into a column with his sibling. When Prince William arrives in New York on Monday for his first solo trip to the United States as a world statesman, he will be greeted in the manner typically reserved for homecoming heroes. As well as advancing his yearly Earthshot advancement grants, the Sovereign of Ribs will meet secretly with UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and other worldwide pioneers during his 48-hour whistle-stop visit. He will likewise be joined by Oscar-winning Hollywood star Cate Blanchett, an energetic Earthshot ally, and will swim into the Hudson Stream to feature a spearheading new water project during New York Environment Week. Williams' solitary visit to NYC comes after a Gallup survey positioned him generally famous among 25 people of note in the news. Well, in front of President Biden and previous President Trump, and surprisingly, before Ukraine's broadly respected President Zelensky, who came next. One more ongoing survey by YouGov actually positions his significant other Princess Kate as by a long shot most famous English illustrious in America, with William and his sibling ruler Harry in a dead heat behind her and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, limping along. Daisy Ruler, pioneer and manager of the New York-based Advanced Party pamphlet, accepts William's fame across the lake is proceeding to develop and says, "The eco stuff is tremendous with youthful Americans. They truly care about it, so the reality he's leading that is perfect." She anticipates that he should get a massively warm gathering the second he lands, and adds, "I believe there's regard for someone who's not continuously standing up and is continuing ahead with the gig, and fortitude with William for placing one step at a time." Be that as it may, I want to believe that he accomplishes something cool and tomfoolery. Might we at any point urge him to go to a Yankees game and eat a wiener, interface with ordinary New Yorkers, and experience the less stodgy pieces of the city? He needs to play a little with us if he wants to win New York. When the Prince of Wales braves the Hudson River, he is actually expected to make a splash for photographers. He also has a planned meeting with New York firefighters to talk about mental health issues. What's more, he will become the dominant focal point at a photograph call with twofold Oscar champ Miss Blanchett during the Earthshot Prize greeting highest point, where he will report the current year's 15 finalists, 5 of whom will get awards of £1 million each to foster their ecological work at a service in Singapore in November, which both he and Princess Kate will join in, as well as his arranged gathering with UN Secretary-General Guterres and delegates from Ecuador and Vanuatu. William is planned to meet extremely rich person Mike Bloomberg, New York's previous City Hall leader, who has proactively committed more than $20 million to help past Earthshot projects. While each significant U.S. broadcasting company has mentioned a meeting, Kensington Castle has turned them generally down, and senior associates have made it clear he additionally in no way wants to talk about his unpleasant break with ruler Harry or some other interruption during his most memorable authority solo US visit. One has been cited as saying, "The US is vital to him. The world's environment influential people will be in New York having discussions about the fate of the planet, and the ruler is quick to be essential for those discussions and put Earthshot up front. He has immense desires for what the award can become and is incredibly centered around its inheritance and effect. This excursion is likewise essential for his development as a worldwide legislator, which is staggeringly significant, particularly since becoming sovereign of ridges. He and his retainers have been contemplating how to deal with that progress from Duke of Cambridge to the following ruler. You've seen a number of iterations of that, whether I met with Joe Biden in Boston or went to the border with Ukraine and talked about how important it is to fight for our freedoms," the author says. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.